You've been charged or summoned to go to court. This short video is intended to help you with understanding what's going to happen when you get there and what's important. Part of the worry about going to court is really not knowing what's going to happen. It can be useful to confide in somebody or take the advice of a lawyer before you get to court to try and allay that worry. You might save yourself a few sleepless nights and you'll be better prepared for when you go to court. Court cases generally fall into two main types. There are those that can be dealt with by the magistrates, or there are those that are so serious they need to go to the Crown Court. And at the one end, of course, you've got motoring cases which the magistrates will deal with, and at the other end you've got, say, murder and rape cases which are obviously going to be dealt with by the Crown Court in a trial. The Magistrates' Court generally deals with less serious offences, the Crown Court generally deals with more serious offences, but there's a range of offences in the middle where there's a choice about where the case is heard, and the court will make that choice when you first go to court. What should you do if you've been charged or summoned to go to court? The first thing to do is make sure that you attend on time, you're dressed appropriately, and you leave enough time for the court case. Although you may be given a time to be at court, it isn't an appointment system. You could be required to be there all day. What to expect when you get there? Well, first of all, you're going to go through some security. It's a public building. There has to be proper safety arrangements for you. You'll be searched. You'll then have to book in with court staff, and you may have to sign your name to say you're there. You may also have to book in with an usher for the court in which your case is listed, and you should make sure that he or she knows you are there. You'll meet your lawyer if you have one, and then you'll have to wait until your case is called. The most important thing to have with you on most court days is patience and probably a good book. Who else will be in court? When you're called into court, you'll be facing magistrates who will be dealing with your case. Occasionally, magistrates are replaced by a district judge who is a professional magistrate who will hear your case. Also present in court will be a legal advisor, and they will help to conduct the court proceedings, assist with administration, and offer any legal advice that has to be given. There'll be a prosecutor who will represent the police and will address the court on the nature of the case and the facts. There may be a defence lawyer present who will speak for you. There may also be a member of the press there, taking a note of the proceedings for reporting later in the day. So what's going to happen in the court hearing? You'll be called into court and you'll be asked to stand in the dock, or somewhere reserved for defendants to stand. You'll be asked your name and address and your date of birth, and the charge or summons will be read out to you and your plea will be taken. In serious cases, the court may go on to decide where your case is going to be heard. And if you plead not guilty or the case is too serious, your case will be adjourned to another day. If you plead guilty, then you'll be asked to sit while the prosecutor reads out the facts of the case. If you have a defence lawyer, he or she will then stand and address the court in what we call a plea in mitigation. Really, that is the good things about your case and how your case might be dealt with. If you don't have a lawyer, then you'll be asked to stand and you'll have to address the magistrates yourself on why you've committed the offence, what you have to say about it, and your personal circumstances. Magistrates then decide what to do with you. They'll consider what they've heard from the prosecution and from your lawyer or from yourself and decide what's the most appropriate penalty. Sometimes magistrates need a report from a probation officer or another court officer to decide how to deal with your case. Your case may be put back into the list or moved to another day when it could conclude. If the magistrates can deal with your case straight away, they'll decide what they're going to do, then ask you to stand while they impose their punishment. They'll ask you to make arrangements to pay any financial penalties they've ordered you to pay, and then you'll be asked to leave court. After court, you may need to see other people, such as your lawyer, a probation officer, or other court staff about your disposal. And you'll then be free to leave court. Because court cases are so stressful, it's easy to leave court without being really sure about what's happened. Speak to the court usher afterwards if you're not sure, or speak to your lawyer. If you're unhappy about the outcome of a court case, you do have the right of appeal from a magistrate's court to a Crown Court, or in special circumstances to a High Court. You're best advised to take advice from a lawyer first, although if you insist, you can ask the court to explain your right of appeal yourself. Further information. You're welcome to go to our website harringtonslegal.co.uk. We can arrange a conference in one of our offices, or by telephone or by web conference. See our website for details. You can go to the CLS website, communitylegaladvice.org.uk, and you can get more information at Liberty, which is yourrights.org.uk. Speak to a local criminal defence lawyer to get the best advice, and in some cases you'll be able to apply for legal aid for representation. Most solicitors offer fixed fee advice sessions, and you can obtain that advice quite quickly before your court case if you're not sure whether you need a lawyer or not. If you're watching this because you're worried about going to court, then I hope it's helped.